Well, good morning and welcome to the Megacast on 89.3 Lakes FM, lakesfm.com, Civic Center TV, and of course civiccentertv.com. And today we are just so thrilled to also be joined by the West Bloomfield Schools. So we are live today. Our Facebook partner is the West Bloomfield School District, and we are live today on the West Bloomfield School District Facebook page. If you are just tuning in there and wondering what all this, good morning to you or good day to you. My name is Dave Scott. Awful good to have you with us, joining us as well here in our Lakes FM studios. I can't do this without my glasses. Is Tyler Kieft. Let me get your lower third there, Tyler. Hi, Tyler. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Dave?
I'm doing good. You feeling okay?
I'm feeling fine today, yes. I'm feeling
All
fine.
right. All right. Well, we are here for the next couple of hours to do everything we can to keep you up to date on anything coronavirus related. And, we take a very broad look at that as we look at certainly the information you need to know, the specifics you need to know, but we'll go beyond that, talk about how it impacts the community, what people are doing to cope. We'll talk to Curt Lawson at the West Bloomfield Police Department, our Chief Information Officer. We're going to talk to Fire Chief Greg Flynn. We have some chance of getting a hold of the Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Hill, and chatting with him. Suzanne Levine of the West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce checks in a minute or two, and we're going to chat with her about the impact on business in our community and a whole lot more. Couple of things. First of all, Tyler,
Please,
here are the wipes.
please.
So
I
can
was
you wipe down your area over there?
I was anxiously awaiting over here, Dave.
All right, because as we were setting up, some other people were kind of working over. And can you back up a little bit? I want to make sure we got our 6 foot spacing here, too.
I'm going to stay as far away from you as I possibly can, Dave.
Okay. We kid around about this stuff, but these things are important.
They are. They're very important, Dave.
Okay, we're gonna wipe things down and just make sure it's clean. We do have a couple of in fact, I think Curt Lawson is our only in-studio guest to the West Bloomfield Police Department. Last thing we want to do is get Curt sick.
No.
Although I'm feeling great. You feeling okay?
I'm feeling fantastic.
All right.
Dave.
But as we know, you could be carrying the coronavirus and have no idea.
It's on our vocabulary.
It is.
Well, you know what word it is? You're going to have to look.
All right. Speaking of vocabulary, what Tyler is referring to is we started yesterday in the broadcast, and you can see on the sheet here, which you can't read on TV, but we started yesterday in the broadcast going through this unique vocabulary that we have now as a result of the coronavirus. So just to go through the words that are already in the coronavirus vocabulary, and then we will add to them. If you have an idea, Tyler, if our audience has an idea, we can add words. But right now, these are phrases or words that are new as a result of the coronavirus, and you got to know the language, right? You're going to be on a boat, you got to know what the halyard is, right?
Sure.
Going to do a coronavirus story, you got to know exactly what all the words are, what the terms are.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we'll go through it quick, and we'll spend more time on it later. But flatten the curve, social distancing, fomite transmission. What the heck is that?
Fomite transmission. That's one of the primary ways that this particular virus spreads. It's basically, in layman's terms, it would be an object or a person that's carrying the virus, and it's usually done through the eyes, the nose, the mouth, which is why you're told not to touch your face.
Happy birthday song, that's what you sing while you're washing your hands. Asymptomatic, that is what we hope we are all right now, and actually we hope we're fine.
No, we hope
we don't want to be asymptomatic. We don't want to be
asymptomatic.
That means you have it.
Right, yeah, you could have it but not be showing any symptoms at all.
So we don't want to be showing any symptoms or
bad.
sick.
That's bad news, Dave.
Pandemic, this is a pandemic, we know that. New normal, definitely in the vocabulary. Curbside testing, right? And the one we missed yesterday, we couldn't think of it. I don't know what was going on, but abundance of caution. Abundance of caution, all right? So that is our vocabulary. We're going to take a break here in a minute. We'll be back. We'll check in and see what's going on from a business standpoint here in our community with Suzanne Levine. Suzanne is, of course, the president of the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce, and we check in with her in just a couple of minutes. Good morning. I'm Dave Scott. He is Tyler Kieft, and we thank you very much for joining us right here on the Megacast. It's not a simulcast. It's not a cable cast. It's
that's
not
too easy.
a radio cast. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a Megacast. It's everywhere we can put it.
All over the place.
It is, and any help you can be in getting this to more people is appreciated. The Megacast today is 89.3 Lakes FM, Civic Center TV, Channel 15 Comcast, 99 AT&T, lakesfm.com for the stream, civiccentertv.com to watch in high definition the video, and a huge thanks to our partners on Facebook today, the West Bloomfield School District, where we are streaming live on their Facebook page. Suzanne Levine from the Chamber when we come back right here on the Megacast.
When is the best time to talk to your family about staying in touch during a disaster? When floodwaters reach your door? When wildfires are engulfing the edge of your neighborhood? Or an earthquake is destroying buildings? Or is the best time perhaps today? During a disaster, you may not be able to stay in touch with your family or friends as easily as you think. Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Dave, what are you doing?
Just sending a gift to Dave 2037.
Who?
Me in the future. I save a little money from every paycheck as a gift to Dave 2037, so he can spend it on things like anti-gravity boots or a hologram Doberman, something cool like that. I think Dave 2037 deserves it. He worked hard. What are you getting Steve 2037?
I guess I was thinking Steve 2037 would just fend for himself.
Well, all right, but don't expect to be borrowing my anti-gravity boots.
You want to have money in your future? You got to start saving now. Putting some money from every paycheck into a savings account or contributing to your 401k can make a big difference later. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1,000,000. For free ideas and easy ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org.
Hey, let's just hope Steve 2037 doesn't get his hands on a cold time machine, because he is going to come back here and knock some sense into you.
This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
The need for blood is constant, and sometimes that need becomes critical. From accident victims and cancer patients to premature babies and those with blood disorders, hospital patients rely on all of us to make sure that blood is on the shelves and ready to help. That's why the American Red Cross needs you. Make an appointment to give blood today by calling 1-800-RED-CROSS or visit redcrossblood.org. Your one blood donation can save up to 3 lives. This has been a public service announcement from the American Red Cross and 89.3 WBLD, the all-new Lakes FM.
All right, welcome back to the Megacast right here in 89.3 Lakes FM, lakesfm.com, Civic Center TV, and today we are also on the West Bloomfield Schools Facebook page. Thank you very much to the school district for making all that possible. I'm Dave Scott, the general manager of this whole operation. There's Tyler Kieft. Hi, Tyler.
Hi, Dave.
Good to have you with us here today.
Yeah, glad to be here.
All right. And joining us on the line now is the president of the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce, Suzanne Levine. Good morning, Suzanne.
Good morning. And by the way, I'm the executive director.
Forgive me.
It's okay. It's okay.
In fact, that's what it says on the screen right now. I should know that. So thank you for correcting me. Good morning.
It's okay.
Good
morning.
How are you?
Well, trying to manage like everyone else during these very challenging times.
Are you feeling all right?
Oh, yeah. I'm, I don't want to kind of jinx it, but yes, I'm feeling great.
All right. Suzanne.
Other than,
go ahead. Other
than, trying to deal with everything like everyone else is, especially trying to help our small businesses in our community.
Well, that's a handful. Let's be honest. That is a handful, and I appreciate all your work, and that's why we have you here today to get an update, see how things are going. So, who would have known even a week ago that we would have all of our restaurants and bars closed, that many businesses would be closed, that we would be only getting carry-out food. And Suzanne, I know you know, and I know from driving around. Last night I went to get my carry-out for dinner, and there's nobody on the road. So things have really, I think people are really adhering to what those in government are asking people to do. But it's having a big impact on business. Talk about it, if you would.
Yes, I'm most concerned for our small, independent little businesses that don't have the resources that a larger company would have with marketing and human resources and all of that. So the Chamber is really trying to come up with some innovative ways to help them. I started reaching out to individual small businesses and trying to see if we can have some sort of dialogue and conversation about how we can help. Perhaps it's even just something that they can do a video of the merchandise in their store, putting it online, seeing if people would, are interested, paying by credit card, and maybe even having the store owners actually deliver the goods to their home or leaving them, in a convenient drop-off place.
I like every single one of those ideas. They're great ideas. Let's start. Let's see what we can do. And I hope this impromptu live on the radio, this is just kind of like a meeting that we're having right now, right? We're just trying to figure this out together. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So you're a very smart, hardworking, media-savvy, outstanding member of this community. I'm too humble to say the same about myself. So let's get our heads together and see what we can do to help. Why don't we just start with the restaurants in particular? They got their hands full. People still want to eat. We all have. I mean, Suzanne, I know you got to have your favorite restaurants. I know you can't favor any chamber members one over another, but I'm sure there are places that last night you would have gone out to dinner and sat in one of the area restaurants if you could, right?
Absolutely. Quite honestly, I don't think I've done this much cooking since my kids have been young. So I'm sort of, burned out about, making 3 meals in advance and freezing them. So, yes, normally we go out on the weekends. So we have a Sunday night big family dinner, 20 of us, pick a local restaurant to patronize. So I'm trying to reach out to the restaurants and let people know. I did pick up from Olga's the other day for my grandkids.
Good idea.
And, trying to patronize them, buy gift cards for when this is all over so that they have some money coming in. And maybe even, how great would it be if we could do something where there was some sort of mini cooking lesson that they could, put on a video thing. And
I love it.
If you don't feel like maybe you can't do this yourself, but we're here. We grab and go. We can drop it off. We can deliver it to your home.
All right.
If you don't feel like.
So, Suzanne, I'm real big on the implementation thing, okay? I love your ideas, and I just want the audience to know, this is not set up in advance. This is a conversation. I've not talked to Suzanne for 3 days. We've both been very busy. So, okay, I got a couple of ideas that maybe we can implement together. I got my legal pad out here, and Tyler knows. Tyler, that's dangerous.
When the legal pad comes out, it's getting serious.
We're getting very serious. So, hey, let's do this.
We're all in trouble. We're all in trouble when you pull out the legal pad.
All right.
Very true.
So, Suzanne, let's do this. Can you help us with this? Let's work together to help these restaurants. Hey, I love your idea about going into the kitchen of one of the restaurants. Go find a restaurant for us that can prepare a meal next week, maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and we will bring a computer, because we're not going to get too many people, but we'll bring a computer and a camera, and we will Zoom it, and we'll do it live on this show. Okay, so during the show, they can be cooking, and then we'll keep checking back in via Zoom and see how they're doing. And then maybe we can do some carry out, and we'll send it out to maybe a couple of people around the community who might be hungry, and we'll get some carry out here, okay? And find a restaurant, and here's the deal: tell the restaurant that I'm going to pay the tab on this. I don't want anyone doing anything for free right now, okay? So, let's see if we can find a restaurant that will cook a meal on the radio, maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, as soon as you can set it up, a meal for 10. For 10, we'll cook it. We'll bring a computer so we have Zoom there, and we'll want to watch the whole thing. And we'll put it so if they can start at 10, 10:30, and then we'll just keep checking in with them throughout the show. What do you think about that?
I think that's awesome. Instead of social distancing, it's cooking distancing.
Yeah.
Well, and maybe some of our listeners and viewers will learn what we're doing, and maybe they want to try some of these things at home. And we're going to get a good meal, and then we'll have a better understanding of the challenges that are going on at these restaurants.
Right.
So as soon as you can put that together, they got to have a halfway decent internet connection and be able to put and we're only going to bring one person, and we got to keep our 6-foot distance. I'm not going to bring a big video crew. That would be counterproductive to the whole thing, right, Tyler?
Very much, yeah.
Yeah, so if you like that idea, Tyler?
I love it. I think that's a great idea. It's a great way to engage the community and give some visibility.
Awesome.
Suzanne, are you on board with that?
I love that. In fact, I'm trying to actually contact someone as we speak.
All right.
Fantastic.
All right, you work on that. I got one other idea, too, that I'd like to implement if you're up for it. So
Absolutely.
yesterday we sent our own Ryan Younglove with our remote broadcast gear out to get curbside lunch. We're going to do that every day on the show. I don't know where we're going today. I think Ryan is trying to figure that out right now. But we're gonna do curbside lunch every day. And what we were thinking, if the restaurants, any restaurant that wants to join with us, we will promote any restaurant that's doing lunch or dinner, curbside or carry-out delivery. We just got to find out who they are. Maybe you can help us assemble a list.
Sure.
We'll promote every
Sure.
single one every day on the radio, and we'll feature one every day. And we'll and again, I'm going to pay the tab. I'm not asking for anything free. No freebies right now. Can't afford it. But we'll send our crew out, and we'll just talk to them live and find out a little bit about their restaurant. We'll interview them live on the radio and let people know some of the great dining options. Do you think that would help too?
I think that's great, and I think posting a link to their menu or having the menu shown would be awesome, because I think a lot of people aren't even aware of all the options that some of these restaurants offer.
All right, I got the legal pad out here, Tyler. Let's call this the Carryout Club. What do you think? You like that?
Cute.
Yeah.
Carryout
Right.
Club. The Lakes FM Carryout Club. Suzanne, what if I make a poster that we can put up at these restaurants so they can identify that they're a member of the Lakes FM Carryout Club? Okay?
That would be amazing.
Love it.
All right, so we'll get a
Amazing.
post. Go get a poster.
And maybe the
made.
chamber
Yeah.
could create an e-blast that also advertises this.
I like it. Would you
And I'll
do
put it
that?
on- Yes, and I'll put it on our website also.
Okay, and if you want to and you can put the menus on your site, we will set out,
Okay.
Tyler, let's set up a Carryout Club page today that we can have in the next, early next week, okay? Then I'll get some art made, and then if the restaurants...
that would be great.
And the other thing, if they want to do it, if they're kind enough to do it, we'll make a little card maybe they can put in there, and then they can distribute that with their Carryout, let people... We'll find out some other benefit of being a member of the Carryout Club, whatever it's going to be. But
Absolutely.
anything we can do,
Absolutely.
it's a critical time right now. We all got to get together locally. Anything we can do to help. Let's just start one piece of the economy at a time.
Yeah.
Anything we can do to help these restaurants get by, encourage people to get carry out, try to keep these businesses alive. And I don't know, Suzanne, I think it's pretty safe going to get carry out. What do you think?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I just did it yesterday, so
All right.
for my grandkids. So I think that's
Okay.
I think it's important. I
All right.
know.
All right. I hope this isn't too off the cuff and impromptu. Are you okay with everything?
No, not at all. I love that. Well,
All right.
being in media, you know how that goes. Things change on the way the wind blows. So, yes,
All right.
you have to be adaptive. And that's the thing we have to tell our businesses, that unfortunately you have to be able to reinvent your business. You have to be agile. You have to be open. Unfortunately, the old ways of doing business may not work in the future. So anything that I can do to help our businesses stay in business another day, another week, another month, years, whatever, I'm very open to helping and doing. That's
All right.
my bet.
Here's the thing I really like about doing this all live on the radio. We all have to keep our word because we just said it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just Tyler,
going
you're,
back
you're on the
now.
hook now.
I know. Oh, I know.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
We got this.
All right. So.
Oh, Tyler can handle anything. I'm not worried about him.
All right. So Tyler, here's the to-do list. There you
Oh,
go.
there you go. That's the
I'm
legal
sitting-
pad.
I can't touch it. You got it?
Oh, yeah.
All right,
You know
there
what?
you go.
Yeah,
Just to be
and
safe.
Tyler, while you're at it, can you grab me some lunch?
Oh, I'll try, Susan.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to send Ryan out to get lunch. You want him to drop off lunch for you at your office?
I'm just kidding.
No, we're going to go get lunch somewhere today. Are you hungry?
I am hungry, but that's fine. I've got
All
enough
right.
food in my arsenal until
All
after
right,
lunch.
so we got to wrap this up. Tyler, what we're going to do, it's going to be the Lakes FM Civic Center TV Carryout Club. We'll get a page up. We're going to invite restaurants to join us. We'll get some posters, and we will get some little handouts they can send out with their carryout, okay? And we'll get any restaurant who wants to participate. We'll put them up on the website. We'll promote them every day on the show. And we'll get their menus up there so people can do carryout. And next week, as soon as we can get it together, Suzanne, as soon as you figure it all out,
Yes.
next week
Yes.
we will go to one of the restaurants and actually during the 2 hours that we're on the air, we'll keep checking in via Zoom and see whatever it is they're going to make, and then we'll get it out to 10 people, listeners or our staff. All right?
Oh, that sounds awesome. That sounds great. Thank you so much. Really, Dave, you and your staff have gone above and beyond every time for our community. We are so appreciative of all the hard work you do. And hopefully all of our efforts will pay off in the long run.
Well,
Save our community.
I appreciate that. It's kind of you. It's not really about Tyler or myself. It's really about trying to get this done. We got a tool here that we got to put to work. By the way, Suzanne is also a member of the Greater West Bloomfield Cable Communications Commission, and you're part of the 12-member team that keeps this place running, so we appreciate your efforts there. Suzanne, thank you. Anything else to add?
No, just, stay safe and, practice all the great hygiene tips that everyone keeps reiterating, and let's hope that, we get through this with not as many casualties as, business and personal.
All right, very good. Thank you, Suzanne. I appreciate you taking time for us today. Suzanne Levine of the Greater West Bloomfield Cable Communications Commission, and also the Executive Director of the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce. You got all that, Tyler?
I did. I got that all down.
Schedule Suzanne for the show on Monday so we can just kind of get an update, just a quick update with her to make sure that we're on board and that we're doing fine. One other thing I want to, and we should have been doing this all along, our telephone number at Civic Center TV, 248-683-2343. Not the easiest number to remember, write down. It's not one of those, 1-800-DIAL-TV numbers. It's 248-683-2343. I'm sure it's on our website. And if you have anything to contribute, call the number. Our operators are standing by. Any thoughts? If you're a restaurant, you want to join the restaurant club, you got a comment for the show, call us. We'll get you in the schedule, and we'd like to hear from you as well. 248-683-2343. All right, we're going to take a break. Curt Lawson, the Public Information Officer for West Bloomfield, is here. Also, Curt Lawson of the West Bloomfield Police Department, the Deputy Chief. We'll check in with him in just a couple of minutes. What else do we have on our agenda right now coming up?
We got a packed agenda today.
Greg Flynn's going to check in via Zoom from the West Bloomfield Fire Department. Larry Nilan and Patrick Mcilmurray are going to check in after 11:30. They're going to talk about some of the challenges individuals are having out in the community right now. And Nick Alonzo, owner of the Indo Restaurant in Kegel Harbor, another restaurateur. We'll see how he's doing. We'll get all the latest information on the coronavirus, how it's impacting us here, go through our coronavirus vocabulary, and much more. We're going to take a quick break. This is the Megacast, and you are listening on the radio on 89.3 Lakes FM, lakesfm.com, Civic Center TV, civiccentertv.com, and a huge thanks to the West Bloomfield School District, Dr. Gerald Hill, and the whole crew over there. Thank you very much for allowing us to stream on your Facebook page today, our Facebook partner for the Megacast. We'll be back in a moment right here on the Megacast on Lakes FM.
All right, everybody in the car, let's go.
What are we going to do first when we get there, Mom? Go for a hike?
Sure.
What about canoeing? Can we go canoeing, too?
I don't see why.
How long does it take to get to the forest?
It's not that far, sweetie.
Are we there yet?
Yep, we're here.
Already?
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a neighborhood park or green space near you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
Is that a faucet running? That's not a faucet. That's a river rushing through the forest. Forest rivers provide over 100 million people with clean water to drink.
What? I can't hear you because of the vacuum.
That's not a vacuum. That's the trees in the forest cleaning up the air we breathe.
I didn't know the trees were so amazing.
Yep, and the forest gives us shade, trees to climb.
That's awesome. Let's go explore some more.
Visit the forest today and enjoy all it does just for you. To learn more about the forest and find one near you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Brittany Spears. I've had the pleasure of singing all over this great nation, but today I'm lending my voice to the 15 million kids in America struggling with hunger. Every year, billions of pounds of excess food go to waste, while 1 in 5 children may be left without enough food for a meal. But it doesn't have to be this way. That's why the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks helps to get food to families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to learn how you can help. Together we can solve hunger. Together we're feeding America.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
All right, welcome back to the Megacast right here on 89.3 Lakes FM and lakesfm.com, Civic Center TV, civiccentertv.com, and thanks to the West Bloomfield Schools today for putting us on their Facebook Live. We really appreciate that. So we've been talking about restaurants, and Ryan Younglove is over there in our guest slot here in the studio. Hey, Ryan, how you doing?
How's it going, Dave?
Good. You're going to get us lunch again today?
I think I am. I think we're going to hit up Jersey Bagel and Deli.
Daham is on the line from Jersey Bagel and Deli. Hi, Daham. Welcome to our broadcast.
Hi, how you doing?
Excellent. How are you doing?
Excellent.
So what we're doing is we are doing everything we can here on the radio and on Civic Center TV. We're on 89.3 FM and on Civic Center TV, Channel 15, and on the West Bloomfield Schools Facebook page, trying to help our local restaurants do everything they can so people know about the carryout and let people know where Jersey Bagel and Deli is.
So we are located actually in 514 Farmington Road, near the plaza where Bush's is.
Excellent.
And, yeah.
I know where you are. I drive by you every day. I know exactly where you are. Well, good. See, this is cool because I've not had the opportunity to enjoy any food from Jersey Bagel and Deli, and today we are. So Ryan's going to come over. He'll place an order for all of us. We're a little busy in the studio right now. He'll come over around 11:30 with our remote broadcast here. And can he just say hello to all of you guys on the radio when he gets out there, and we'll get our lunch?
All right, that's no problem with us.
Okay, no freebies. He's going to bring my credit card. I mean, we're not asking for a handout here. We just want to promote your business, all right?
All right.
All right. We're thinking about starting. I was just talking to Suzanne Levine from the West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce. We're thinking about starting a thing called the Carryout Club, where we would let you promote your menu on our website and just promote your restaurant every day, and anyone else that wants to. Do you like that idea?
I would love that idea, yeah.
Good. Let me ask you a question. If we made a flyer, would you like the promoting the Carryout Club and maybe a poster? Could you help us distribute that if we dropped it off in a couple of days?
Yeah, I could do that.
All right, good. I like it. Daham, right? Daham.
Yeah.
He's right on board with us. All right, so you're going to meet Ryan in a little bit. Ryan will work with you to get an order, and we'll be over there around 11:30, and we'll do it all live on our show, all right?
Alrighty.
All right. Thank you, Daham. We'll talk to you soon.
Yep. Take care.
All right. So there it is. Ryan, you all ready for that?
I'm ready.
You got the broadcast gear?
Oh, yeah. It's all ready to go.
Okay. Like Curt Lawson is right behind you, and he'll tell you as you're walking out. And he's got a badge and a gun. So just make sure you stay 6 feet away from everybody. I want you to do this and tell us on the radio how you're doing this as safely as you can, okay?
Gotcha. I'm going to make sure I wipe down this mic, too.
Now, Curt, should should he wipe down the mic before you get here, or should you wipe it down when you get there?
He's going to wipe it down, then I'm going to wipe
All
it
right, so go ahead. Let's watch. So wipe the microphone down now.
Technique here.
Okay. This is live radio and TV in the craziest. I never thought I'd be broadcasting with the disinfectant wipes here. All right. So wipe it all down. Get the headphones, too. I know you didn't use them, but Tyler did. And that mouse over there, too. All right. While he's doing that, Curt Lawson will join us in a minute as soon as we get everything wiped down over there. He is a public information officer for the West Bloomfield Township and the police department and the deputy chief of police here in West Bloomfield. We'll chat with him. And we got Greg Flynn over at the fire department standing by. We'll get him in here, too. He is connected to it. You all set?
I'm all set.
Don't touch anything. Now you touch it. You got to wipe it one more time. Wipe it again. Okay. Very good. And thank you. Lunch. We're good?
Yes, we're good.
Elbow bump. All right. Very good. All right. See you later. Ryan, thank you. So we were talking, Greg Flynn will be joining us via Zoom here in a couple of minutes. All right. Hey, Mr. Lawson, how you doing over there?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Good. Get yourself all wiped and get your microphone, get comfortable over there. Stay over there on your side of the studio.
We're keeping our 6 feet here.
We are. See, I didn't really get that until you came over here and reminded us we got to do the 6 feet thing, too.
Well, we had to implement some rules over here, and I can see that you're enforcing them, so I appreciate that.
I am doing my very best. Thank you for joining us here on Civic Center TV and Lakes FM. We're here every day, a couple hours a day from 10 to noon, and we're going to continue to repeat these broadcasts throughout the day. So, Curt, how are we doing?
We're doing really well, actually, considering. Like we said last time I was on the air, this is the new norm, at least temporarily. We're not sure how long this is going to last, but what we're concentrating now within the township as far as with the different departments is that we're working really closely with the Human Resources Department, the township supervisor, and the electeds on, how are we going to keep our staff healthy? Because right now we do have a relatively healthy staff, and we want to keep it that way moving forward. So we're looking for really innovative ways on how we are going to do that. So there's lots of discussion, and but we're operating at full service at the police department, the fire department, and at our town hall.
All right, so you got your Facebook page, right?
We do.
Can I show people? There you go. You're watching on TV right now. That is the West Bloomfield Police Department Facebook page. Do I have the right page up?
You do, and since March 12th, we've pushed out 38 different posts related to this crisis that we're all living in, and we've reached a little bit over 40,000 people.
What's the picture of this? You've got this really stern-looking guy looking at his cell phone. What's that picture all about?
So if we weren't busy enough, we had a little incident where all of our phone lines went down about 2 days ago. So we had no administrative lines within the township complex. So we're able to work very closely with our great IT department to get cell phones online, and we wanted to push that information out to the community. That's what I do and my team does, and we were able to do that very effectively.
Looky there. You even have a copy of the Megacast that we did live on Facebook with you the other day. Thank you.
Of course, you're an integral part of the communication platforms that we're using.
All right, well, thank you. And we might want to come back and do that again next week. Did that work out okay from your side?
I loved it.
We found out that we can't play music, though, during the Megacast on Facebook because Facebook shuts us down.
They did not like that.
They did not like us playing Billie Jean or whatever it was that we played, so we'll avoid that next time. So, how are things going? How's the community doing? We know the numbers are increasing. We're seeing that. What are you getting? What are you hearing from out in the streets?
I think we're all a little bit anxious, and what does the future look like, and how is this the businesses shutting down going to affect the economy, and where are we going to get our next paycheck if you're off work? So there's that level of anxiety. But I really think that this is a partnership that definitely includes the community, and they've done such a fantastic job staying at home, been in quarantine, and if you're not feeling well, you got to go into some isolation, staying away from your family. And it seems like a majority of our residents, certainly in the Greater West Bloomfield area, are doing their part to make this happen, to do the right thing so we can kind of flatten that curve as we move forward, and we can all get healthy and get through this.
Well, and that's exactly what we're trying to do. Now, Pennsylvania and California, we saw yesterday that they both put additional lockdowns. I don't know if that's the right word. Probably not the right word. They asked people in the communities to shut down businesses that were not essential.
Correct.
And they took a much wider brushstroke than we have here so far in the state of Michigan. I don't want to get in the rumor business, but you can look at that situation and the fact that all the governors are talking around the country and assume that the possibility exists that Governor Whitmer might do the same thing here in the state of Michigan. You have any thoughts at all?
The last I heard from her, and she didn't call me directly, but I've been reading her press releases, is that she does not want to go to that option unless she has to. And that's not on the table right now. But we have to see over the next week where we're going to go with the numbers. Certainly, California, they're projecting that almost half their population in California may get this virus.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to just see, like I said, where that curve goes over the next few days.
We have not been able to, and I'm not accusing the hospital, Henry Ford, of doing anything but their job. They've been very busy taking care of people. We've not been able to communicate with them. We hopefully will be able to do that next week. What do you know about what's going on at the hospital? I assume you're interacting with them. Do you have any update of how they're doing out there?
So I do talk to Amy Strauss over there, who's head of their communications, and she gives me updates almost on a daily basis. So they've set up triage tents in the parking lot of Henry Ford Hospital. They are not testing for this virus at this time. However, they want to triage you before you physically come into the facility. Because like us and like you, we want to make sure that that virus stays out of the facility. We're going to try to keep things as sterile as possible. So they're doing those triage tents outside, and you will go through 2 or 3 different tents before you're allowed to go into their facility.
All right. Well, that makes a lot of sense. But it is interesting that they are not testing. Is that any thinking behind that, or is it strategic? Is it supplies? Do you know? Or
well, certainly I don't think it's that they don't want to test. I think there is a significant need for more test kits, not only in the state of Michigan, but throughout the country. And until those come online, the people that are going to get tested are the ones that are most at risk to be critical or, possibly lead to a fatality. So if you're in that age group of 62 or higher, or you have some sort of autoimmune disease or underlying disease, those are the ones that are going to get tested.
Uh-huh.
Someone like me or someone like you who's fit, they're going to tell us that you need to go home and you need to self-care.
So a couple of questions, and I am so sorry. We are very busy, and I also think this is a very honest, open way to conduct our business here. I haven't talked to you before this interview, so if there's something you can't comment on, feel free to not comment on it. I know you will do that, but the city of Detroit is not. It's not that they're not enforcing, but they are not arresting people on some very low-level misdemeanor charges, if I got that correct. Any thoughts about that, and are we considering anything like that in West Bloomfield?
We're using what I would call a common sense approach to our law enforcement at this time. If we don't need to make a traffic stop or need to make a very low-level misdemeanor arrest, a physical custody arrest, we're not going to do that. We'll go ahead and issue a citation. We're just trying to limit our contact as much as possible. We're certainly taking more reports over the phone than we ever have before.
What kind of? So you're saying you're taking more reports. What's happening? What kind of calls are you getting? Well, what kind of calls
first of all,
are you getting?
our call volume has been reduced significantly because everyone's inside of their house.
Okay,
right?
all right.
We've had some family troubles and some domestic incidents that we obviously will respond to. Our dispatchers, we have a great dispatcher crew, and they're going to ask some questions before our officers arrive on scene, and those are going to be some medical questions. So if someone has any of the symptoms, that we're going to make sure they have their personal protective gear on. But have no doubt we're still going to be enforcing the law here in West Bloomfield.
All right, Curt Lawson is with us. He is the West Bloomfield Township Public Information Officer. And what are you doing? You're fixing some things. I got to get 6 feet away from John Atwater, but then I'm not 6 feet away from you. I don't know what to do. So, okay, thank you. I can do that. Thank you. And doing the best thing. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do.
You're doing a fantastic
job.
job.
So Curt's Public Information Officer and also the Deputy Chief of the West Bloomfield Township Police Department. I've not talked to Chief Patton. How's he doing?
He's doing great, and I'm sure we can get him on the show one of these days.
All right, let's get him on the phone on Monday. So
okay.
Please tell him that you've been doing such a great job that, as I know he knows, that we've not had a chance to chat with him. Other challenges, anything else before we get to Greg Flynn in a minute or two?
No, I just want to throw a shout out to all the public safety personnel and all the township employees that are coming to work, and they're working so hard and doing a great job.
Do you have any issues in your lockup right now? I know, you get people that you have to hold. Is there health issues there? You have a strategy there, or is it just not an issue at all?
Well, whenever possible, we are citing and releasing, and we're working through some decon issues right now. What's the best way to make sure that those cells in the back of those patrol cars are clean? And we're trying to find the best practices for that. Lieutenant Eric Tilley at the police department and some personnel from the fire department are working hard on that to make sure we get it right.
Okay. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in a minute. We have our Zoom system set up, so we're going to Zoom in a moment, and we're going to talk to the fire chief of West Bloomfield Township, Greg Flynn, who is standing by over at the fire department. We'll chat with him in just a couple of minutes. You are watching and listening to the Megacast on 89.3 Lakes FM, lakesfm.com, Civic Center TV, civiccentertv.com. And a huge shout-out today to the West Bloomfield Schools. Thank you, Dan Durkin over there and Dr. Hill for allowing us to broadcast today on the West Bloomfield Schools Facebook page. We will be back in just a moment.
Hello, it's me, the designer jeans in the back of your closet. What happened to us? I used to summer in the Hamptons, and now I'm stuck behind a pair of sweats. Okay, maybe I never really fit you right, but I got a lot more Sunday fun days left in me. So take me to Goodwill, where I can really make a difference.
Your donations to Goodwill create jobs, training programs, and education assistance for people in your community. To find your nearest donation center, go to goodwill.org. Donate stuff, create jobs. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Jill, why don't you tell the class what you did this weekend?
Well, my dad and I went in search of some magical minnows and found a zillion of them in the stream from our lookout rock. Then my sister and I escaped from an evil slug king and went back to my super twig fort for safety. Then we told stories till it got dark, and the Big Dipper led us all the way home.
Wow. Where were you, Jill?
We went to the forest. It's not that far away.
Ask your parents to take you and your friends to the forest this week. It's closer than you think. Check out discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
And welcome back. Civic Center TV, Lakes FM, the Megacast. Dave Scott, Tyler Kieft is running around the building. We'll find him in just a couple of moments. We thank you very much for tuning in today. I think we have him on the line here right now. Joining us, I think, via Zoom is the West Bloomfield Fire Chief, Greg Flynn. Chief Flynn, are you there?
Hi, Dave. I am.
There we go. Hey, I know you can't see me. Sorry about that. We'll get that working, but we can see you, and you are live on television. Thank you very much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
So, let's just start with the broad general question. How about an update from you and how we're doing here in the community?
Well, our assessment, we're doing very well. And when I say well, when we're looking at the situation that's before us, we're doing very well. The team here in West Bloomfield, I caught a little bit of the deputy chief's comments, and I just want to underscore those from our friends in the clerk's office to assessing to building to code to the water resources, human resources, everybody, finance. Everyone is stepping up in the township to do their part to stop community spread, but also to keep essential services running in the township. And they're doing a fantastic job. The employees in the township are going above and beyond, and this is something the residents should really, really be proud of. I was joking with the deputy chief on a call just the other day about how impressed I've been with attendance at work. Everybody is showing up. That should be. Now, mind you, they're following the same advice we're giving if they have a fever, a cough, shortness of breath, things like that around somebody that had a positive COVID-19 diagnosis. They're staying home and they're quarantining as they should.
Joining us via Zoom is the West Bloomfield Fire Chief, Chief Greg Flynn, at his desk over at Fire Station number 5. Did I get the number right?
You did.
All right, very good. Okay, good. I know these things. So, so we're doing okay. So I was glad to hear from Curt Lawson that they're doing pretty well over at Henry Ford Hospital. We're not testing, but they've got triage set up, and they seem to be dealing with the situation pretty well. Do you have anything to add as to how things are going out there?
I think it just underscores the community support around this and what good planning, good preparation does for these types of things. Now, I had one of my staff in the operations center talk about describing what's happening as kind of this glacier-like emergency. So you see it and you can see it coming, and it's kind of coming at you pretty slow. And once it gets here, though, it looks pretty big. And so that's what we're doing. We've had some time to prepare. I just got a word just before joining you that the National Strategic Cache of medical equipment that was delivered into Oakland County is ready for pickup. So our staff is going over to procure those items, which will be some additional respiratory and physical garments that we can put on, gowns for first responders, both police, fire, to continue to serve the public, as Curt said, because we're still doing all of the things that were normal, that happen every day in this township are still happening. And your first responders and all your township employees are ready to help.
Chief Flynn, I'm so glad you mentioned that. That is such great information. That's the kind of information we want to be able to get from you, because I go home at night and I watch CNN and I watch Fox News and I watch MSNBC and I watch our local channels to try to get an understanding of the whole picture. But we don't really know from them what's really happening here in West Bloomfield. And we hear the federal government should be helping. And, you know, you got to kind of figure that out in between all the political stuff that we get from all the media outlets. But for you to say, hey, the federal government has dropped off supplies here in Oakland County, you're going to go pick them up today, that network, at least on some level, seems to be working, and that's very reassuring.
It is. And you bring up a good point about the amount of information that is coming out. You've got the guy that sitting next to you there in studio who's doing an outstanding job of keeping our residents informed. He's a great partner in delivering that message and a sense of calm that our community needs. I know from a township board meeting we had yesterday that's one of the key things Trustee Manna had brought up, that he wants to assure that the residents remain calm. And it's that kind of support from the elected officials that the operations folks need. They need that clear direction. We need to understand that they understand the scope of the issues that are facing our community, and then give that appropriate direction to the folks that every single day are delivering boots on the ground service to this wonderful community of West Bloomfield and the Greater West Bloomfield area, especially for fire with our friends in Kego Harbor, Sylvan, and Orchard Lake.
All right. Well, I won't take much more of your time. Thank you. I know you're busy with a lot of other more important details, but we appreciate you keeping the community involved and joining us here on the Megacast. By the way, really, you look good on the Zoom. This whole Zoom thing worked out pretty good.
Yeah, you know, the nice thing is with just this headshot, I don't have to suck in for as long, so I like it.
Unfortunately, the way they set the cameras up here, I don't have the same benefit, but, you know, it motivates me to go take care of myself. Finally, before we say so long, anything that your first responders and maybe over the police department they're encountering with the public that you could ask a little help from the public to make it a little easier for them?
Sure. We just ask you to be transparent, share the information that your first connection with the dispatcher as they ask you those questions, to just give your best answer. We are going to come. It's just a matter of the assurances with the limited reserves of supplies until some of these additional supplies come in. We want to make sure that the first responders are appropriately protected to come and help you. They'll screen you some more. We'll get to the hospital. They'll screen you some more. There's going to be lots of questions. We need your patience. We need your support. We need you to follow the guidance that's being provided. And with that, we're going to come out the other side of this probably better, with a better understanding of what it means to be part of a community and to face something like this that can impact our daily lives. But we need to remain vigilant with the guidance and keep this kind of communication going so that people are informed and they know what's going on locally.
All right, I know you can't see it, but I'm holding up for our cameras the Clorox disinfectant wipes. You probably got yours right there. There you go. We'll let everybody. We're doing so much good for Clorox here. But so we have ours. We're doing that. We're washing our hands, right? Just to remind them of the basics. So just one last time, the basics for everybody.
Yeah, so it's good hand washing. So we're starting off with the soap, a lather for 20 seconds, and then we're rinsing. Remember, we're washing up half of your forearm as well, and then we're going to dry off with a disposable paper towel and toss that in the trash. And we're going to do that often. We're going to keep good hand health also. So with all this hand washing and sanitizer use, make sure that we're keeping lotions on the skin to keep the integrity of your skin on your hands. Cover your coughs. We're keeping our 6-foot social distance. And when we don't feel well, we're going to reach out and be patient with our primary care provider because they are getting a lot of people reaching out. We want to be patient, monitor your temperature, and if we're seeing any signs and symptoms of COVID-19 or illness in general, we're going to quarantine in place and wait for further guidance. And I know you've probably put up some of the Oakland County nurse hotlines and other things that are out there, and Curt is very up to date on all of those resources where if people are getting a busy signal or a wait in one spot, maybe they can try another one. But we just keep that up, Dave. We're going to be in good place in the weeks and months to come ahead.
All right, Tyler Kieft is here now. He will keep all that up to date on our website, civiccentertv.com/coronavirus, and we'll continue to promote your department, the police department, the township sites. Chief Flynn, thank you very, very much for being with us today. And yeah, hopefully we don't have an emergency that requires that we chat over the weekend, and maybe we can talk early next week. If something does come up, we'll be talking.
Sounds good, Dave. Thank you.
All right, there he is. He is the chief. Whoops, hit the wrong button there. He is the chief of the West Bloomfield Fire Department, Chief Greg Flynn, doing a great job. Thank you very much, Chief. Dave Scott, along with Tyler Kieft, here in our Lakes FM studio here. It's the Megacast on 89.3 Lakes FM, lakesfm.com, Civic Center TV, Channel 15, Channel 99 on AT&T, and today we are also live on the West Bloomfield School District's website, Facebook page, right?
We're on the Facebook page,
page, okay? So we thank them. We are getting lunch today from Jersey Bagel and Deli. We'll check in a couple of moments with Ryan Younglove, who will be getting curbside for us live right here on the Megacast. We're going to go back through our vocabulary, talk about that a little bit. We got some other guests, of course, coming up here. And that is Larry Nilan and Patrick
Mcilmurray.
I don't know why I'm having trouble with
I don't
that.
know.
It's just the C. I'm expecting to see a capital C in there.
Yeah, it is. It doesn't go that way.
Mcilmurray will be joining us. Of course, he's been on TV with us here and just find out how things are going out in the community. Nick Alonzo is going to join us as well from Indigo Restaurant in Keagle Harbor. Hey, Tyler, great. Let's take a break here, but when we come back, I want to talk about what's going on with meeting coverage and a big high five, big elbow bump for you for the great job you did last night getting that Keagle Harbor meeting on the air. Just talk about how these meetings are going to be covered. That's really what we do, and how people can continue to get in touch with the government. If you have any thoughts, questions, or anything else, feel free to give us a call. Our telephone number that was right there. Oh, there it is. 248 683 2343 248 683 2343 248 683 2343. We can get you on the air and have you join us. We'll be back in a moment right here on Lakes FM and lakesfm.com.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard, so you don't need to sell all your belongings and live in a commune.
These dungarees belong to all of us now, Tom.
You don't need to get a second job as a stuntman.
We need a new stuntman!
You just need FeedThePig.org. Don't get left behind. Get tips and tools at FeedThePig.org. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Blood is the most precious gift that anyone can give to another person, the gift of life. A decision to donate blood can save a life or even several. Only 37% of our country's population is eligible to give blood. Less than 10% of those who donate actually donate annually. Help by donating blood at your local American Red Cross by calling 1-800-GIVE-LIFE. The gratification is instant, the need is constant. Give blood. This message is brought to you by 89.3 Lakes FM and the WBHS Digital Media Arts Program.
Jill, why don't you tell the class what you did this weekend?
Well, my dad and I went in search of some magical minnows and found a zillion of them in the stream from our lookout rock. Then my sister and I escaped from an evil slug king and went back to my super twig fort for safety. Then we told stories till it got dark, and the Big Dipper led us all the way home.
Wow. Where were you, Jill?
Well, we went to the forest. It's not that far away.
Ask your parents to take you and your friends to the forest this week. It's closer than you think. Check out discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable. But how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Dave, what are you doing?
Just sending a gift to Dave 2037.
Who?
Me in the future. I save a little money from every paycheck as a gift to Dave 2037, so he can spend it on things like anti-gravity boots or a hologram Doberman, something cool like that. I think Dave 2037 deserves it. He worked hard. What are you getting Steve 2037?
I guess I was thinking Steve 2037 would just fend for himself.
Well, all right, but don't expect to be borrowing my anti-gravity boots.
You want to have money in your future? You got to start saving now. Putting some money from every paycheck into a savings account or contributing to your 401k can make a big difference later. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free ideas and easy ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org.
Hey, let's just hope Steve 2037 doesn't get his hands on a cold time machine, because he is going to come back here and knock some sense into you.
This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
And welcome back to the Megacast here on 89.3 Lakes FM. LakesFM.com. You can hear the live stream. We're on Civic Center TV, Channel 15 on Comcast and Channel 99 on AT&T. We also welcome you to watch today on the Facebook channel of the West Bloomfield Schools, and Dr. Gerald Hill will be joining us in a couple of minutes via Zoom one more time. The Zoom thing, Tyler, coolest thing ever, Zoom. You know, we're able to talk to folks and get them on TV and on the radio live right from their desk, more than 6 feet away from each other, and then still be able to interact with them so we can see them. Very cool.
Yeah, it's a fantastic tool. It's been utilized all throughout the community. I mean, we're using it, but I know that, and we'll talk to Dr. Hill about specifics on it. The school district's using that for instruction. The West Bloomfield Township, you and I are going to be meeting with them today to talk about how they can implement this for their future meetings potentially. Keego Harbor used Zoom last night and it went really smoothly.
So, you know, we're committed here at Civic Center TV, big part of what we do, especially this week during Sunshine Week, which celebrates the National Open Meeting Act effort. That's what we do here. We broadcast meetings. So the Keego Harbor meeting was complicated. We talked about it yesterday, and they were able to get Zoom implemented, and we broadcast it last night on Civic Center TV. How did it go?
It went really well. Everyone was able to get on the call very smoothly. Everyone came through with good audio, good visual. We had a couple of people at City Hall over there, Chief Fitzgerald and the acting city manager and city clerk, Tammy Neeb, of course, an office apart, more than 6 feet. And it went very smoothly. We had people from the public that were joining in on the meeting and tuning in. And there's even a chat function in there so that the mayor was able to, if there were any public comments that came through, he would be able to read those aloud to the audience so that the TV audience would see them and be able to have the city council and staff respond.
So there's no reason why we can't do these meetings during this crisis for municipalities on Zoom, get them on TV, have people in the community participate. And what we talked about yesterday, again, I think rings true today, in that if we can do it for Keego Harbor, we're going to meet today in West Bloomfield to figure out how to do it there. We can do it in these communities, then you can do it for your business. You can send your employees home. You can communicate with your family. We can all get together and make sure that we stay in touch, keep our distance, stay safe using that tool or the other tools that are out there. And yeah, and if you're having trouble implementing anything, just call us, because we kind of figured it out here because we had to. So let us know. We'll give you a helping hand. We certainly, any business or any department here in the community needs help, we'll help you out with it. But glad that we can get our meetings, get them online. People can participate and nobody has to get sick. Good job, Tyler.
Yeah, thank you very much. And then if you're interested in seeing kind of how that went visually or auditorily, over the air, you can tune into that meeting replaying just shortly after we're done at 1 o'clock. Of course, we got Lunch with Larry on the radio, and then we'll have some regular programming on Civic Center TV at 12 noon. But at 1 o'clock, we have a replay of the West Bloomfield Township Board meeting from yesterday from midday. That was a regular one. And then that meeting was about a half hour long, so about 1:30, 1:40 p.m., the Keego Harbor City Council meeting from last night will replay. And, of course, those meetings are both going to replay over the weekend, beginning in chronological order at 9 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday, and they're available online, civiccentertv.com. You'll click on demand, and there they are, right at the top of the list.
Nice job. Business as usual.
Absolutely.
With the meeting coverage, and that's what we do. So good job to you and the staff for making all that happen.
Thank you.
So just want to thank Suzanne Levine. She was on with us earlier. She is the executive director of the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce, and we put together a couple of ideas that we're going to implement to help our restaurants. One is going to be called the Carryout Club. So any restaurants that want to participate in the Carryout Club will talk to them on the radio. We'll promote the fact that they're out there. We'll come get lunch from them when we can. In fact, our own Ryan Younglove is out on the streets right now, and he's heading over to Jersey Bagel and Deli to get carry out for the crew today. Show you how easy it is. We'll talk to him live on the radio in a couple of minutes. I don't think we figured out how to do Zoom in a mobile environment, but we can with a phone.
We actually last night both Chief Fitzgerald and the clerk in Keego Harbor, Tammy Nee, both were using their phone app for the live meeting, so it's possible. It can be done.
Well, we'll Zoom. We'll carry out Zoom next week, but we're gonna set up the Carryout Club to promote restaurants and to let you know how easy and safe it is to do carryout and help support those folks. All right, I believe joining us via Zoom right now is Dr. Hill from the West Bloomfield Schools, and let's see if he is there. Dr. Hill, hello and welcome to the Megacast. Are you there?
Hey, how you doing, Steve and Tyler? I am here in my office as you all are in your studio.
Dr. Hill, you look great. You got the big bookcase behind you, and thank you for Zooming with us. How you doing today?
Well, it's been a busy morning and a busy week, but doing well personally, and trying to struggle through this new environment as everybody else is, actually.
Well, first of all, I really want to thank you very much, first of all, for being our Facebook partner today. What we're trying to do is find a different Facebook partner every day to carry our broadcast. West Bloomfield Schools Facebook page is doing that today. Huge thank you to you and to Dan Durkin for making all that happen and just helping us communicate with as many people as we can. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So how's it going at the schools? The schools are shut down for a protracted period of time. Can you give us an update of what's going on at the West Bloomfield schools?
Sure. And first of all, just kudos to all of our staff, our teachers, our principals, our central office curriculum instruction leaders, our food service people, maintenance people. Everyone's really, during this sense of time of emergency, has come together. We're collaborating effectively. We're communicating. We're doing some really yeoman's amount of creative problem solving, if you will. And so we feel we have as good a situation as we can under these situations, but it's because of all the people involved. It's just been incredible.
So tell us.
Teaching.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask. So, how's it work? You're just about to tell us before I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, from a teaching and learning point, we are using a platform called Google Classroom. Each one of our teachers has set up their classroom online. The students in their classes have registered, and so their roster for their Google Classroom are their students. And then we've been communicating that way since Monday, actually. We introduced the Google Classroom, and our participation rate is incredible. We have on average, over 90% of our students have been logging in daily. And we are working with those families who do not have internet capabilities to get them a hotspot, get them signed up. We've delivered 800 Chromebooks across to students in our district. As you may know, we're a one-to-one school district computer technology-wise from grades 5 to 12, and we have enough devices at the elementary level. So Monday was an incredible day of distribution of not only Chromebooks, learning packets, food, you name it.
You know, I got to say, that is an impressive report. That is absolutely amazing that you're able to implement that, get 90% of your students interacting, get them the technology. This didn't happen as a last-second response. You must have been thinking about this before you received the notice from the governor that we needed to shift the way we're teaching our students.
Yeah, we did. We saw what was going on actually in the Seattle area. There are several school districts there that had to shut down. They converted to cloud learning. We're calling our initiative the cloud learning platform. And so we did some research outside of our area and looking at some best practices. Our instructional team, they had been discussing this for a couple of weeks prior to all of this happening and did some preliminary planning. The Wednesday before the Monday shutdown, we had a district learning design team that came together. We had a scheduled meeting anyway. We changed our meeting to one of let's plan for cloud learning, and the gears started really shifting and getting in place at that point in time. And so between that Wednesday and on Friday, we decided on Wednesday that we would close our schools on Friday like a snow day. So we closed it. We had a snow day, if you will, where the students did not have to come. We didn't know whether we would be open or not at that point, but we planned as if we would not be. And then what happened was the governor closed and we had to implement our plan on Monday, and that we were still building on Friday. So this week we're in day 5, and it seems like week or month 5 with the amount of work that's been taking place. But we developed a food service delivery plan, distribution of learning packets, distribution of Chromebooks, getting people signed up, having a mechanism where students can log on, where we can keep track whether they're logged on, whether they logged in for the day or not. And then, like I said earlier, trying to get connectivity and technology to those families who were not able to have it. And because of the dedication of our teaching staff and the principals and our central office team and all of the support staff, we were able to get to where we are right now. We are still building this plane as we fly. I mean, it's not a seamless system, but we have a good start on it.
Dr. Gerald Hill joining us via Zoom. Are you in your home right now? Are you in your office? Where are you?
I am in my office. We have the option for employees to be here physically, or we can work virtually. There's not many people here, so I'm
okay. No, I know you're in a safe place. I don't mean. I'm just kind of curious where you're at. But Dr. Gerald Hill is joining us here on the Megacast on Lakes FM and Civic Center TV. And Dr. Hill, I just got to tell you, I've been a broadcaster for way too many years. Thank you to a wonderful education from the West Bloomfield School District, and we all have our favorite teacher. Mine's Dave Alberry. He knows that. From the early years of my broadcasting career to today, I mean, I've interviewed governors, all kinds of elected officials, rock stars. This interview today, I hope you're not going to blush or anything, but this has to be one of the most fascinating conversations I have ever had in my broadcasting career. What is happening to me and what you're reporting on is just this side short of a miracle, if you don't mind me saying.
Well, it does boil down to the whole team of people coming together and with a laser-like focus on what can we do during these really unprecedented times to provide some stability to the students on a daily basis, some support to parents. Parents are in a whole new realm. If they're working, what are their kids doing when they're working? There's no daycare. I mean, how do I manage parenting duty as well as teaching? So but it's complicated. All of a sudden, you're working from home. What if you have 3 kids and they all need the same computer? So there are a whole host of issues like that. But one of the things that I'm most proud of is that this sense of purpose that our West Bloomfield educational community, and I'm including parents and students and all the teachers, have in terms of doing what's right for students. one of the major concerns I have, we've gone through 5 days of this, and we have teachers that are probably arguably working more hours now than when they teach, because online learning is spaced out, and they have situations in their houses where they're dealing with family issues as well. And so how do we recognize that and give them support as well? And they need to take care of their life balance, their mental health. Our students, how do we keep them connected and engaged and not frustrated, attuned to their mental health? The parents have multiple issues going on. So all of this is, I think it needs to it's bringing us closer together in an unusual way as a community, even though there's less contact face to face. But if everybody's focusing on the same thing, and that is student health, student well-being, family health, family well-being, and that's the whole goal that we have. And I don't know where this is going. There's very little direction from the state and from the federal authorities at this point. It's new to everybody. There are hundreds of school districts in Michigan. We're all doing something a little different. The State Department is inundated. The governor's office is inundated. So we decided here locally, we needed to do what we think is right. And then we'll work through all of the issues that are associated with whether or not we get credit, how students get credit. All of those things are sort of side issues. We're just all about teaching and learning and supporting people in all realms that we can.
Well, I think if those matters will get worked out later on, but right now, had the structure not been there, I can think of a darker scenario that would be students, unsupervised, parents not home, people with a lot of free time not having things to do. I know your educational experiences are continuing, but it's not just that. It's having some structure in the day of all these students that otherwise might, during a really difficult time for everybody, we can all trip and find a way to get into some activities that aren't as positive. So congratulations. It's working good.
Well,
Go ahead.
Yeah, one of the things that we're doing or have done, there's a recommended daily schedule. Students like schedules. And so on that schedule, there'll be a certain amount of time, let's say 45 minutes for reading, and then there'll be, this is for students to follow, then there'll be recess, or then there'll be reflecting time, or there'll be going out for a walk, or whatever, so we have this sort of structured plan that they can take advantage of, and that's been very helpful. And then this check-in time, we have a lot of our teachers, I said we were using Google Classroom, and right now, you and I are communicating via Zoom. Well, a lot of our teachers have implemented Zoom chats with their classrooms, and we have some great examples on Twitter. If you go to hashtag WB in the cloud, you will see all kinds of instances of teachers and students getting together via the same technology that we're using right now. And to see their excitement and to hear their excitement, I've seen a few of the videos of the chats is just amazing to me.
Dr. Hill, I just got a text from somebody who might be a student. They want to know, are they going to get a pop quiz?
Well, that would be interesting. If you get a pop quiz, then you can just sort of chat with your friends and say, what do you think about it?
That's true. They could, a little bit of sharing some notes. So, you can throw one strategy and they're going to throw it back at you. Hey, this is very
seriously though. We did have some high school classes that gave assessments yesterday. And they were open book. I mean, they're obviously, but those assessments went well. The teachers were able to see that the students, what the learning has been. One of the things we don't want to happen, we don't want anybody to suffer, anybody's grades to drop, any of that. So they should just put that aside. That's not, we're not about this to be punitive. We want teaching and learning to continue in a wholly different way, but to continue nonetheless and be sensitive to where each student is. Like I said, family situations are different, home situations are different, support systems are different, and we need to be aware of that and support wherever we can. Yesterday, we had our assistant superintendent, Deanna Barish, was out. There were several families in our district who had not yet picked up learning packets or Chromebooks, and our principals were calling all of the families that hadn't yet checked in to just see, what can we do to be more supportive. And outgrowth of that was we went around with a school bus and did deliveries all day yesterday of Chromebooks, of learning packets to homes that had not yet checked in or hadn't been able to get to us. So we went to them via the school bus. And that was an eye opener for a lot of people on that. I know Deanna was really impressed with the appreciation shown by the parents and the students for us going to their homes and delivering what we can in these unusual times.
All right. Well, it's good that you get the technology to the people that don't have it. Otherwise, where would they be? You'd have a certain segment of your population that wouldn't be serviced. Two more quick questions. I'll let you get back to work. Thank you very much. Dr. Gerald Hill is joining us today right here on the Megacast on Lakes FM, lakesfm.com, Civic Center TV, and civiccentertv.com. And a huge thanks to you, Dr. Hill and Dan Durkin, for allowing us to broadcast today also on the West Bloomfield Schools Facebook page. Federal School Lunch Program students, are they? Can you give us an update of what's happening with students that might normally get a free lunch, and is there anything that can be done to help them out?
Okay, the system that we've set up, and this is one of the things the state jumped on right away and provided really good guidance. Any student 18 years of age or younger, or if a special needs student age 26 or under, any student, no matter of city of residence or wherever they live, is entitled to or can get a free breakfast and a free lunch. They don't necessarily have to be on the free or reduced lunch program. And so what we've done is we take orders, if you will, reservations. And so we know how many meals to prepare. And that's been growing by the day in our system. I'm not sure where it started out at, like 450, and I think it's well beyond that at this point. But we have two pickup places. Students can pick up, or families can pick up breakfasts and lunches one time. They come between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. and they can either go to Roosevelt Elementary School or Orchard Lake Middle School, and they go. It's sort of like a drive-by kind of system where we know you're coming, you come by, we give you your lunches and breakfast, and then you're off. We've even arranged to have food service. Today they're picking up for the weekend meals as well. And then we're planning what are we going to do over spring break, just to continue that going, because spring break, after next week is spring break. But we don't think the need for food will stop then. And all of these meals that we are distributing will be, by our understanding, covered by the federal school lunch program and the state program. So it's a service that's needed by a lot of families and very appreciated. And I need to just, again, give kudos to our food service people, all of the help at each of those schools that we are the distribution points. And we know that some families aren't able to get to our distribution points. So if you happen to live in another area, you can take advantage of the food service from the school district in your area and find out where those pickup points, or in some cases, the delivery. I know in Pontiac, they are delivering the school lunches via school bus. So amazing work. I didn't have an idea of the depth of the program. So bravo. You're not just getting technology out to people. You're not just educating students. You're not just having your entire staff do everything they do in a completely different way. You're making sure that people get the nutrition that they want. Absolutely amazing, Dr. Hill. Tyler Kieft also here. Tyler, you got a comment?
Yeah, and what's really amazing about these programs, I mean, just beyond the depth of their reach, is how quickly it all came together. I mean, it's come together so quickly, and it's been so highly effective, and it's doing great things for people in need in our community, and continuing to provide the excellent schooling that these students are and parents are expecting their students to have in the West Bloomfield School District.
So a good job, Dr. Hill. And I know I get credit for our whole team. I know you got a whole team there. I know you're not doing it yourself, but I get it. But thank you very much. Hey, one final question for you. school board meeting Monday night. We've had some conversations behind the scenes about maybe doing the Zoom thing. Any further developments on that? And will we have a school board meeting on Monday night?
I'm going to make two final comments. First of all, yes, there will be a school board meeting on Monday night, and yes, it will be via Zoom, and we will be posting this afternoon how to access the school board meeting. All the board members will be Zooming in, and there'll be opportunity for public viewing and public participation at the appropriate point in the meeting. And so all of that is taking place right now as we are speaking in terms of the logistics. And then just one final comment, how this happened so fast. I think a lot of it's an outgrowth. We've been focusing on our portrait of a graduate, the 4 C's. And in that process, it's modeling those 4 C's. And that's critical thinking and problem solving, collaboration, communication, and contributing to society. Well, our teachers and staff are living and breathing those 4 C's as we are navigating this tremendously challenging time. And I just want to once again thank everybody involved for their dedication and their caring for the students in our school district.
All right. Well, great job, Dr. Hill. We thank you, the entire team. And, none of this happens without the students engaging, participating, cooperating, being a part of it. So, kudos to them as well. And I can only hope that the same kind of thing, probably maybe not as well executed, but something very similar is going on at school districts all across the state of Michigan. I assume that's going on.
Yeah, we are all pitching in as we can and dealing with a highly unusual situation, learning as we're going.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Hill. Great to have you with us. Dr. Jerry Hill joining us. Again, Tyler, the most amazing half hour I've spent with anyone in an awful long time.
Yeah, it's really impressive what the school district's doing. I had a chance behind the scenes, and this will be released very shortly through the school district and our outlets. To have Dr. Hill and Deanna Barish and Kyle Anderson from the school district in our studio earlier on this week, and they filmed interviews with Dr. Hill about just exactly from an administrative point of view how this is being executed, what the school district's doing. Very similar to the conversation that we've just had with Dr. Hill. It's fascinating. It's incredible the work that they're putting in, the things that they're doing for the kids in our community and for the greater community and kids and families that aren't even in Greater West Bloomfield, just as a service to the greater good. They are really modeling those 4 C's that Dr. Hill talked about.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back with more. We got to check in on our own Ryan Younglove, who is curbside. He's working on an early version. What did we call it?
We call it the Civic Center TV and Lakes FM Carryout Club.
Carryout Club. Yeah, and so we'll find out how
Join
he's doing. We'll get him live on the radio. And I believe he is at Jersey Bagel and Deli. We're on the way. We'll hear from him in a moment. And is Larry going to check in?
Yeah, Larry Nilan's planning on checking in with us via Zoom very soon.
Okay, Larry's going to check in, and then we're going to hear from Patrick as well?
We may hear from Patrick as well,
All
yes.
Right. Patrick Mcilmurray will be joining us, former host of the Sidewalk Talk, and he's just another guy out there in the community, interesting person who can give us his thoughts. Larry Nilan, of course, the host of Lunch with Larry and so many other programs here on Civic Center TV. We'll look forward to talking to him and our own Ryan Younglove and more. So don't go away. We'll go through our our vocabulary, our coronavirus vocabulary, have some more tips for you, and much, much more. All right? Anything else?
That sounds great. That sounds like a great plan, Dave.
Okay, we are going to take a break. We will be back in just a couple of minutes. You are listening to, trying to do one thing here at the same time. We'll get to that in a minute. There we go. All right, it's hard to talk and navigate windows at the same time. I hope you can appreciate that.
I can. I'm doing that too.
All right, we are live on Civic Center TV and Lakes FM. LakesFM.com, 89.3 Lakes FM, Civic Center TV, Channel 15 and Channel 99. And, of course, a big thank you to the West Bloomfield Schools. And they are our Facebook partner today. We are on their Facebook Live channel. Back with more in just a couple of minutes on the Megacast. We'll be right back.
All right, everybody in the car. Let's go.
What are we going to do first when we get there, Mom? Go for a hike?
Sure.
What about canoeing? Can we go canoeing, too?
I don't see why.
How long does it take to get to the forest?
It's not that far, sweetie.
Are we there yet?
Yep, we're here.
Already?
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a neighborhood park or green space near you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
The need for blood is constant, and sometimes that need becomes critical. From accident victims and cancer patients to premature babies and those with blood disorders, hospital patients rely on all of us to make sure that blood is on the shelves and ready to help. That's why the American Red Cross needs you. Make an appointment to give blood today by calling 1-800-RED-CROSS or visit redcrossblood.org. Your one blood donation can save up to 3 lives. This has been a public service announcement from the American Red Cross and 89.3 WBLD, the all-new Lakes FM.
Is that a faucet running?
That's not a faucet. That's a river rushing through the forest. Forest rivers provide over 100 million people with clean water to drink.
What? I can't hear you because of the vacuum.
That's not a vacuum. That's the trees in the forest cleaning up the air we breathe.
I didn't know the trees were so amazing.
Yep, and the forest gives us shade, trees to climb.
That's awesome. Let's go explore some more.
Visit the forest today and enjoy all it does, just for you. To learn more about the forest and find one near you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Brittany Spears. I've had the pleasure of singing all over this great nation, but today I'm lending my voice to the 15 million kids in America struggling with hunger. Every year, billions of pounds of excess food go to waste, while 1 in 5 children may be left without enough food for a meal. But it doesn't have to be this way. That's why the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks helps to get food to families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to learn how you can help. Together we can solve hunger. Together we're feeding America.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
All right, welcome back to the Megacast right here on 89.3 Lakes FM and lakesfm.com. Good to have you with us. My name is Dave Scott. If you're watching on Civic Center TV or on Facebook, we are in the Lakes FM radio studio. I'm Dave Scott. Over there is Tyler Kieft. I got to get your microphone.
Yeah,
there you go. All right, very good. Thank you for joining us. Hey, we started a new program. We need to work a little bit on the implementation. It's called the Carryout Club, and we're going to work with restaurants to promote carryout. And every day we're going to carry out our own meal. Checking in right now at I believe Jersey Bagel and Deli is Ryan Younglove. Ryan, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm actually standing right next to Daham. Is there any questions you'd like to ask him?
Well, first of all, just set it up. Tell us where you are, what's going on. Just set the whole scene, because people listening right now have no idea. I can help you. This is Ryan Younglove, our reporter with our remote radio gear at Jersey Bagel and Deli. So, Ryan, tell us, where are you? What's going on? How they doing the carry out there? And obviously, you're getting us carry out lunch, and then ask Daham whatever you want to ask him. It's all yours.
Gotcha. So I'm right off 14 Mile Road. The deli is a very nice establishment. They're actually staying pretty busy. A lot of people come in and out for carry out, which is a good thing, especially in these times. And so, Daham, is there any precautions that you recommend people taking when coming here to get carryout? And could you talk about your carryout process?
All right, so our carryout process, first of all, normally we let customers come in, keep distance from themselves, about maybe a couple feet, not 6 feet because the place is not too big, I know that. But they normally wear gloves when they're coming in. Our employees, we handle money with gloves. We change it at each order, put a new pair of gloves. So we also have, if you can see, sanitizer wipes all over the counters to be sure everything's kept nice and clean. Customers coming in, they feel like, oh, get some wipes to take care of their hands. Business has been declining a little bit because, the global crisis and stuff. But carry out so far is pretty good.
That's good. All right, Dave, is there anything else you'd like me to ask?
No, just we're on the website. We're looking at some of the really good food. I can see the counter there. I can see some sandwiches, some bread, and a lot of pastries and a lot of carbohydrates I absolutely should not be eating. But tell Daham, thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you back here in a couple of minutes. Ryan, are there other people picking up carry out there?
Yeah, just in the span of me being here in the last 5-10 minutes, I've seen about 4 or 5 people come in and pick up, so it's good.
Just ask Daham if the carryout is helping him keep his business running during these challenging times.
So Daham, is the carryout helping you keep the business running during this hard time right now?
For sure, yeah, for sure. You see, normally, especially during the weekends and Fridays, we have a lot of dine-in. Families, office people from break, they come here and they get a lot of stuff. But since they're scared to go even step a foot in a restaurant, to touch this or touch that, it's been steady. So if it wasn't that busy, we wouldn't be open. But so far, we're gonna keep it open until, God forbid, the government decides to shut everything down.
All right, well, hopefully they won't do that. Hey, tell him I'm on Google right now, and he's getting a lot of really high reviews on Google. The address, 33220 West 14 Mile Road, West Bloomfield. It says they close at 5 p.m. Is that still his hours, Ryan, you want to ask? They're open until 5?
So do you still close at 5 p.m. or did you have adjusted hours?
As in this week, we're actually closing at 5. We're thinking about closing early next week, depending on how the business runs between 3 to 5. If not that busy, we're planning to close around 3, 2 o'clock.
All right, gotcha. Tell Daham, thank you very much. And Ryan, we're really hungry, so bring the food back, right?
All right, I'll hurry back, Dave. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Well,
Ryan.
there it is. Ryan Younglove from our team doing a great job, Tyler. And look, it's making a difference, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It absolutely is making a difference. Even Ryan said, just in the span that he was there, people are still going out and getting their carry-out food and patronizing these businesses as best as possible.
All right, let's check in now with our own Larry Nilan. Larry is right there. Larry, hey, we see you on the screen. Hello, you got your splash mug. Good man. How you doing today?
He's ready.
Good morning, guys. How's it going? Yes, every morning start off with my Tim Hortons coffee and my splash mug.
Okay,
every morning.
So Larry Nilan, host of Lunch with Larry, which we will obviously have recorded for today, and very key member, reporter here at Civic Center TV, member of our team, and a very distinguished-looking environment you're in, Larry. Is that your house? I've never been over. Where are you?
Apartment, yes. You see the cat condo. I was trying to get the cat to be up there. That was a beautiful look, but she's a little fidgety this
That's
morning.
fine, Larry.
So.
My cat's never listened to me either.
That's a cat condo by the window over there?
Yeah, that's what it is.
What
She
about
enjoys looking at neighbors' a house that it's across the way over there. I think she's longing to be there. She seems like they're having much more fun than I'm having here. So.
What about all the pictures in the background? Did you take those, or did any story?
Yes, almost everything that's hanging on the wall in my place is a photo that I took. So.
Well, you've been some wonderful places. Well, thank you very much for joining us today. We're going to check in here and say hi to Patrick Mcilmurray. Patrick, of course, I think is right there and has been with us, of course, here on Civic Center TV as well. Hi, Patrick. How are you?
Fantastic. How are you today?
Good. You look great, too. Where are you?
I'm in my living room.
All right, so thank you very much for joining us live via Zoom here on the Megacast. And Larry, why don't you interview Patrick, because you know his story and you know why we've got him here today.
Sure, yeah. Patrick, as people who watch our channel know, he's a part-time reporter here. He's the last host of Sidewalk Talk, one of the most popular features on The Splash. But Patrick, you spend most of your adult life working in the food service industry, and obviously that's been affected greatly by what's going on right now. So how are things affecting you?
Well, I'm out of work, laid off, and for the foreseeable future with what's going on right now. I kind of had a feeling it was coming with the severity of the outbreak and the speed of it. So now I'm just laying low, trying to do what they say and just avoid contact and relax and get caught up on some shows and been watching Netflix and whatnot. So
yeah, now you were working at a West Bloomfield location. That's where you're working right now. In Nona Maria's?
Nona Maria's at Walnut Lake, just west of Inkster.
And are they doing a takeout service like some of the restaurants are?
Yep, they're doing a takeout, I believe, from 5 to 7, 7 days a week. So you can go in there and get your veal and chicken parm. They're still kicking it. So
yeah, it is great food. So I mean, a lot, like I'm sure a lot of your friends are, people that are still working in the industry. What have you heard from them on how things are affecting their lives?
They're scared. They don't know what the hell is going to be going on. It's tough when you don't really know when the next paycheck's coming in. Unemployment I filed for is a fifth of what I would usually be bringing home. So I was planning on 2020 being the year that, I get some substantial money saved. It doesn't look that way now. It's gonna be rough.
Yeah, you'd mentioned to me something you were like looking into maybe trying an Amazon job or something like that, but those could have risks with them as well.
Yeah, that's my biggest fear right now. I've had a couple offers to do grocery stock at a grocery store. My sister, like you said, Amazon's hiring, but we don't know what's going to happen. We're only at the beginning of this epidemic and outbreak, and I'm scared for myself. I don't want to go out and risk my own health to make $10, $15 an hour, which these people are already doing. We have to understand that these people are already putting their lives, which they're worth more than $15 an hour. So,
sure. You also, your girlfriend, I know she does some part-time house cleaning work, and that's kind of dried up for her as well.
It has. No one wants people coming in their house. You don't know. I'm keeping away from my own family right now because I'm scared of either what I'm going to bring to them or what I'm going to get from them. So it's rough. It's a challenging time we're living through right now.
Sure. Yeah. So Dave, that's kind of what's going on out there for a lot of the people working in service industries right now. I mean, some places, are flourishing, grocery stores and things like that, but other places, it's a struggle.
Well, and it may be even more of a struggle, Larry. By the way, that was great. That was the first ever Zoom to Zoom interview we've ever done. And for our Civic Center TV viewers, they watched it, and everyone on the radio enjoyed it. Larry, you're a great Zoom broadcaster. You can add that to your resume. But no, it is. It's a really challenging time, and all the issues that you guys expressed, you're right. Patrick, I totally get it. And thank you for joining us. I totally get it. If you're going to go out and you're going to do, Uber, or you're going to do DoorDash, or you're going to be a delivery person, you got to be really careful. You are taking your life in your hands. I hear some of the people are just like taking food and dropping it off at the door and leaving, but there's no way you can't be that out there and have concerns for your health. So I think you're doing the right thing.
Thank you. It's rough, but I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part by keeping my butt on my couch.
Well, no, and I respect that. And Larry, I respect the fact that you're doing what you're doing today too. That you're continuing to stay engaged, help out. Just so people know, Larry's been producing the show, and Larry, you're doing that from home. How's that working out for you?
It's not bad. If I was in the office, I would be making phone calls just like I'm doing here, sending out emails and things like that. So it's really not that big of a deal. Instead of the 6 feet of distance, I'm keeping 60,000 feet distance.
Well,
so
no, I appreciate
Larry's been
that.
telling me for weeks he's been wanting to get as far away from me as possible. So now he has an excuse. He's got a reason now.
Well, no question about it. And Larry, in your case, like many of our listeners, you have an elderly parent who you are the primary caregiver for. And you got to be really careful. I assume you're seeing your mom often, and you got to be really careful not only about your health. You're not in an age group that we are primarily concerned about, but if you're spending time with your mom, then you got to be really careful about how you expose yourself to others right now.
Yeah, it actually is more concerning. I'm more concerned about her than I am myself. I have to usually go over to her place and give her, she takes a daily insulin injection, and it's either myself or my sister have to be over there and give that to her because it's just difficult for her to give it to herself. She's not a needle person, as most people are. So that's the struggle. I go over there, I put a mask on, I put gloves on, but you never know, like, is this enough? And then when I'm there, she wants me to stay longer, and I'm telling her that the best thing for her is for me not to be there, but it's hard to get that through to her.
Larry, I hope you don't mind me asking this and saying what I'm about to say, but we're friends, so I know you'll cut me some slack in the interest of getting information that is helpful to our audience right now. You do a very good job of keeping a very good eye on your health, and you're not like me in that when something bothers you, you go to the doctor. You really do. So, how is all this? How are you deciding? And making decisions about when you feel good or when you feel bad and what actions to take in this environment?
It is a tough call. Well, just I would say from 8 o'clock last night until 8 o'clock this morning, I had a really bad headache. And then you start looking up symptoms and you're like, well, some people are having headaches and it's a problem, but the headache did go away. But you do look at the list of the symptoms that you could have, and you could convince yourself that you're having those symptoms almost at any moment. But I've been checking my temperature all the time. I'm one of those people that always has a low temperature. I'm always like 97.7 anyway, and that's been consistently low. And so you just gotta. I think the stress, might be a big part of what leads you to have symptoms or think you have symptoms. So I think if you just relax a little more and just, give an honest assessment, then I realize, I'm actually doing pretty well. So.
All right. You both you guys are two men about town. Patrick, was that weird when we couldn't go to the clubs anymore? How did that hit you?
Because I was at work this past Sunday, the 15th, when our governor shut down the casinos and made a call for that. So I knew it was a matter of time before everything got shut down. And I'm used to going out I'm the bar, not so much clubs anymore.
The bar. I hope you go. I mean, listen, there's nothing wrong. I go out and have a cocktail after work too. I mean, we're all in the same boat.
Right. Oh yeah, that's my thing. It's like it's really. Put a damper on how we live our normal lives and how we interact. I'm the type of person I would love to sit, on my way home, stop and have a pint and strike up a conversation with a random stranger and do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is strange taking that part away from our lives. It's just like, well, so now what do I do? I mean, really, how do I? Bottom line, you, Patrick, I hope you don't mind. It's probably why we like you here, and you too, Larry Nilan. You're very social people, and so am I. So, and you too, Tyler. So, it is a difficult time. Larry, I know you. I've never run into you in any of the establishments here in West Bloomfield. How are you coping with all this?
Well, I will make this honest admission. I picked the worst year of years to give up beer for Lent. And I'm sticking to it. It's been, so we are, not that I'm counting or anything, but this is day 23. And, I'm doing well. So the lucky part was I was kind of staying in like a couple weeks before this really ramped up. So I'm doing okay right now.
All right.
I've discovered the beauty of O'Doul's Amber. It sounds horrible, but it's fantastic.
It's good. Okay, I'll try some tonight then. All right. Larry, thank you. Thank you very much. Patrick, thank you so much. I really appreciate you letting us into your home and sharing your story. I'd like to keep in touch with you guys because I just can't see this broadcast being all about talking to Dr. Hill, even though that was the most fascinating interview I think I've done in years, maybe decades, and talking to Curt Lawson. It's got to be a little bit about just talking to guys like you guys and hearing what's really happening out there and what your emotions are and all of us staying connected. Patrick, great job. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Anytime you want me on, just give me a buzz. Let me know.
All right, Larry Nilan, get to work. We got a show to produce on Monday, huh?
Yeah, great job, guys.
Okay, thank you, Larry. Thank you, Patrick. We really appreciate it. Tyler, there you go. That is what is happening in the real world in our community. Couple of our reporters and how they're coping at home.
Yeah, and I think it's great for us to get that insight from them. We've had a lot so far about what's being done to combat this new normal and deal with this new normal from a municipal perspective, from a Chamber of Commerce perspective, from the school's perspective. But now we got a really good idea of what it's like for real people, just regular guys like you and I out in the community, and how this is affecting person to person and their life, because that is driving these organizations and these communities and what they're doing to try to keep as much of regular society as we know it intact as best as possible. And that's really what our duty is with this Megacast, is to tell the stories of the community and how the community in general, in all aspects, is coping with this pandemic.
All right, thank you very much, Tyler. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in a minute. We had scheduled to talk to Steve Kaplan, West Bloomfield Township Supervisor. We'll see if we can get him on the line, unless he is otherwise engaged. And we will be back in just a couple of minutes. Thank you for tuning in. Big thank you to our Facebook partner today, the West Bloomfield School District, and Dan Durkin at the school district for putting all that together. Thank you to Dr. Hill for joining us this past hour. And thank you for tuning in wherever you happen to be. Hopefully you're watching us on Civic Center TV and seeing these interviews and being a part of it on television right from our studios, watching on civiccentertv.com, or joining us over on the live audio stream at lakesfm.com, or even better yet, on the radio, where I think that's the best way to engage in all this, because I'm a radio guy. Yeah, but right here on 89.3 Lakes FM, we'll be back in just a moment.
Did you know that the annual average temperature of the United States has increased by 1.8 degrees Fahrenheit over the period from 1901 to 2016? That may not sound a lot warmer, but think about the United States as you would your body. The average temperature of the body is supposed to be around 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Living with a temperature of 1.8 degrees warmer would mean living with an 100.4 degree fever at all times. Over the next few decades, annual average temperatures are expected to rise by about 2.5 degrees Fahrenheit for the United States. Just like an untreated fever would negatively affect our bodies, rising temperatures will negatively affect the Earth. Go to eos.org to find out more about climate change. This message is brought to you by 89.3 Lakes FM and the WBHS Digital Media Arts Program.
Today in school, I learned a lot. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me. In English, I learned that I'm disgusting. And in physics, I learned that I'm a loser.
Today in school, I learned that I'm ugly and useless. And in gym, I learned that I'm pathetic and a joke. In history, I learned that I'm trash.
Today in school, I learned that I have no friends. In English, I learned that I make people sick. And at lunch, I learned that I sit on my own because I smell. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me.
In biology, I learned that I'm fat and stupid. And in math, I learned that I'm trash.
The only thing I didn't learn in school today?
The only thing I didn't learn today?
The only thing I didn't learn?
Is why no one ever helps.
Kids witness bullying every day. They want to help, but they don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
All right, welcome back to the Megacast right here on 89.3 Lakes FM, lakesfm.com. Dave, Scott, Tyler Kieft here in our studios. Hey, John Atwater, can you hear us? Just nod your head if he can. Okay. John Atwater is on Zoom. Hi, John Atwater. Let's just go to you real quick. We didn't warn you about this, but hey, it's live radio. Hi, John.
Hey guys, I knew I should have ended the Zoom call.
It's a dangerous move, John.
John is our Zoom administrator, and you know the way we can make Zoom work for broadcast really well is by having somebody running all the controls. So, John, you've been doing a good job. You've been getting us on Facebook. You made the whole studio thing happen here. Thank you very much. Good to have your help here, and thank you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. It was fun setting up the little podcast room for you with our cameras and video switches and, you know, coordinating everything together so that we can do this live podcast on the radio and TV and Facebook and,
so,
you know, getting all the information out there.
I wanted to keep you involved in this conversation quickly. So for folks that don't know John's history, John worked on TV in Lake Orion and was one of the top producers there, community television, and we were able to persuade him to come be on our team over here in West Bloomfield. We're really glad to have you here. Your father, John's father, is a broadcast journalist, photojournalist at Channel 7 and works with the engineering team there. So, John, you've been around this for a long time. So what we did last night I thought was fascinating. We broadcast the Keagle Harbor city council meeting. They were all on Zoom. People were participating from the audience in Zoom. And Tyler, you were able to just capture that Zoom and get it on TV. Yeah. So listen, John, you've been covering a lot of meetings before you even came to work for us. Did you ever think you'd see a time like this where we'd be doing these Zoom interactive, Facebook streaming, Twitter, whatever meeting coverage in our communities?
Not for the municipal meetings. There's always trying to Zoom or Skype or FaceTime, people into news shows and get interviews, things like that. But the municipal meetings, the township boards, the school boards, I didn't ever think we would be on a web interface like this, holding those meetings and not only broadcasting them, but having the public participate as well.
It's working out pretty well, and I'm going to talk to Steve Kaplan at 12:30 today to talk about the West Bloomfield Township Board meeting on Monday. He and Harry Palmer, the IT guy, and at the Township, and myself, and we'll figure out what we're going to do to make West Bloomfield's meetings interactive. Kegel worked out really well last night,
he did.
And I'm sure we're going to be doing a lot more. But John, what we're showing here can be very useful to really any business or even any family that just wants to keep in touch, don't you think?
Absolutely.
So, was it hard to set up?
No, it wasn't difficult to set up. There's some tricky things here and there, but for the most part, getting it all to work was pretty seamless.
All right. Does Ryan have lunch back here for us? That's the most important question.
He is back here.
He does. He is back, and he has lunch for us.
All he cares about is
and I can't wait.
All right. Very good. So you guys are nice. We sent him out to Jersey Bagel in Delhi. And you guys waited until the broadcast was over.
So
Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, Dave, even though you can't see it because you're in the radio room, in the podcast room with the door shut, I'm running all around the building, making sure everything else is
I know you
still
are. You're busy.
Yeah,
he's keeping the Facebook up. And all right, John, thank you very much. Great. Your efforts are greatly appreciated. Wanted to give you a chance to say hello to everybody.
Thank you.
All right, so Tyler, that's kind of where we're at. We only have a couple of minutes left today in the Megacast. As we talked about, good job, Tyler, last night, getting the Kegel Harbor meeting on. People can watch that on the archive this weekend. We had West Bloomfield's Township Board meeting that was held yesterday where you saw that meeting.
It was very interesting. One of the first things that popped out to me was in the setup for the meeting. We always begin that really about an hour or so before the meeting's scheduled beginning time. And one of the first things I noticed is when we were getting the cameras configured for that meeting back here at Green Media Center was the distance that the chairs were away. 'Cause they're usually right next to each other in several rows of 10 to 12 chairs or so. And there were chairs just pieced all around the room, 6 feet apart.
That was a really good idea.
It was a great idea.
Talk about the content in yesterday's meeting. Can you just quickly summarize what was discussed?
Yeah, the township was really discussing what to do moving forward in terms of emergency operations. Should they declare an emergency in West Bloomfield specifically so that the township supervisor can have a little bit more directional power and that the board can work together more closely to determine essential personnel, whether or not to keep town hall open or work entirely remotely, moving funds around to first responders in this emergency situation.
So did they take action? We only got a minute left. Did they take action on all those items?
Yeah, they took action on those items and a couple more that they added to it that can all be seen online, that can be accessed online at civiccentertv.com. You can watch the entire meeting, watch all the deliberation, and get that information.
Yeah, it sounds to me, and I have not watched it yet, but it sounds to me like it was one of the most consequential meetings we've had in a long time.
It absolutely was.
Big decisions being made, and if you want to know exactly what happened, you got the summary from Tyler. Best way to really engage and find out is to go watch it yourself. And all you got to do is go to civiccentertv.com, and it's all right there.
Yeah,
right?
You go to civiccentertv.com. You can click on the on-demand page, and it'll be right at the top of the page. It'll be two meetings. It'll be the Kegel Harbor meeting from last night, and right below that will be the West Bloomfield Township Board meeting from yesterday afternoon. You'll get the entire discussion. You'll get the point of view from each of the board members, insight from staff members such as the township attorney and
so
Chief
we're on the
Flynn.
website right now. Go to
You'll
the
click
on demand.
Yep, on demand right there.
On demand,
and it's right there.
There is. The Kego Harbor meeting is right there, and then the West Bloomfield meeting. And this is the way we do it all the time. These meetings are always there. And then you put virtual meeting in there. I like that. So people,
virtual meeting, emergency meeting, both of those are there. And of course, those meetings will replay today. If you're listening to us live, of course, they're going to replay in about an hour, so you can sit back, take a load off, and listen to Lunch with Larry, and then tune into the meeting live on Civic Center TV at 1 o'clock for West Bloomfield.
All right. So unless something striking happens over the weekend, we will not be with you live. I think you can rebroadcast today's radio program, today's Megacast, over the weekend. I think people would understand if you got some room for it between all the meetings. And then we'll be back here at 10 o'clock on Monday live one more time. And then we'll do this all over again. Before I say so long, I want to thank everybody that was a big part of the broadcast, and I know I'll miss some. Our entire team here, of course, Larry Nilan out in the field. Larry and Patrick did a great job today. Ryan Younglove running out and reporting live from Jersey Bagel and Deli. Jake, I know he was hard at work, too, getting the splash together. So,
Jake Gustav's hard at work.
Jake
with that
Gustav
always.
doing a great job. Of course, John Atwater, who we just saw. And leaving anybody else on our staff? I think that was everyone.
Ryan Younglove.
And Ryan Younglove. Okay, good.
All about.
Good. Thank you to Dr. Jerry Hill. What a great half hour we spent with him to learn more about what's going on in the school district and amazing work being done there. Thank you so much to Suzanne Levine, the executive director of the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber, giving us an idea of some of the challenges businesses are having here and putting together a couple of initiatives we'll work on and really implement next week. The Carryout Club. So any restaurants that want to get involved, all you got to do is send email to dave@civiccentertv.com, and we'll get you signed up for the Carryout Club. We'll be calling all the restaurants that are doing carryout, though. See if we can get you involved, and then the restaurants can start promoting their carryout program to the community, and hopefully more people will continue to support them. And a big shout out too to our first responders, Greg Flynn, who we talked to, the West Bloomfield Fire Chief, who we talked to live via Zoom today, and Curt Lawson, who was kind enough to come over and pop in here at our Lakes FM studio. So 3 days of the broadcast. I think it's been pretty interesting, at least from our standpoint. We hope you found it helpful and interesting as well, and we'll be here doing this as long as it is helpful and necessary. So we will see you next week. Tyler Kieft, anything to add before we say so long?
No, it's been a great week of this. We're looking forward to next week. We had great interviews today, great interviews throughout the week, very informative stuff. And the situation is far from over. We'll continue to be right here on the front lines, helping keep the community informed about how the community is responding to this pandemic.
Ladies and gentlemen, as long as we have enough disinfectant wipes, we will be here to broadcast for you.
Oh, yeah.
For you. We got plenty. We got a good supply.
Yeah.
I don't know how we got such
I
good
don't
supply.
know.
We didn't hoard.
There's
like six of these back here. So I think we're going to be okay.
We're very good.
All right. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you to the West Bloomfield Schools and Dan Durkin for inviting us and allowing us to be on your Facebook page. So, Tyler, thank you very much. Good job.
Dave.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you
for listening, and thanks for being a part of the Megacast. The Megacast today on Facebook, on the West Bloomfield Schools page, on Civic Center TV, on CivicCenterTV.com, and, of course, on LakesFM.com and 89.3 WBLD, Orchard Lake, West Bloomfield, Kego Harbor, Sylvan Lake. And have a great weekend. Stay healthy. Be well.